Hey guys, how are you? I'm just sitting in my office today and I was just got off a call with somebody that was calling to inquire about immigration services. And it's a call that I've been getting a lot recently where people are very reactionary in terms of their choice to move to Canada. And it's something that I've been speaking a lot about in terms of the difference between people planning and the people who are not planning. Okay, and let me give you an example. So, again, I don't want to turn this into something political, not at all, but we've been getting a lot of calls from people from the United States. Okay. There's a difference in the calls that we're getting. You always see this in the news. I don't know if you've seen this a lot lately, but there's this big spike. It's reported that, Google has reported that moving to Canada searches have gone up exponentially, and it hits the news and it goes through a bit of a cycle and then it goes away. Okay. So we're actually the people that are answering those calls. Now, in 2016, we saw a very similar thing where this happened, but a lot of people weren't really taking action on this. And what was happening was is they would call and, we'd say, "Hey, listen, here's what you got to do. Go look at this." And then as usually when we said, "Hey, you got to do an English test," that's when they would lose interest and we wouldn't hear from them again. Now what's happening is that we're seeing a similar thing, but people are taking more action on pressing ahead. They're scheduling their English tests, they're getting their educational credentials, they're engaging us a lot more in terms of asking the questions to find out what's going on, things like that. But here's the other thing, and this is the point of this video. A lot of times it's reactionary. And these are people that we generally don't end up working with or generally don't end up coming. They're just talking, they're doing all of that. Whereas other people, what they're doing now is they're looking ahead and they're saying, what are things going to look like in 20 years? What's the world going to look like for my kids in 20 years? Okay. And that's the biggest thing. If people have children, it's always about the kids and what's it going to look like later on and all of the other things. But we're hearing other things that are coming into the conversation. People forget about all the election and all of the other stuff. What people are actually looking at is they're looking at what's going on, what's the chart of the country, and where are things going in wherever people are living around the world. Where do they see that going? What are things going to look like in 20, 30 years? And what are some of the other issues of the day that we're talking about now? One of the ones that I've seen come in a lot is the environmental impacts. A lot of people are starting to look at these superstorms. Like, you look anywhere, like you go to Asia, you go, down through the Caribbean and in the Panhandle, anywhere in there, you're seeing very massive storms. These storms are going to continue to get bigger. And people are like, maybe I should be looking to get a little bit further away from the coast. Global warming, sea level rising, I don't know. So, and again, trust me, I'm not a doomsday person at all. I'm very optimistic in my views. But I just find it interesting because we're starting to hear, and I'm seeing a lot of these trends come up in terms of the thinking. I also find that people who are planning ahead, and I say this all the time with the way that we do, is that people need to be able to plan, they need to be able to implement and execute on their strategy, and then they need to think about their settlement and what they're going to do when they arrive. Okay. This is the biggest thing that we see, and this is the biggest thing that we tell people. So I'm all about educating people. I want my clients, for the people that I work with, I want them to be educated. I want them to understand exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. Because really, at the end of the day, whatever service you're going through, if you're using somebody to take care of it, or if you're even doing it yourself, you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable spot. And I, for one, like to work with people who understand what's going on, understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. And this is something that I hope you'll be one of those people. So I invite you to take a look around at some of the other videos that we have. We kind of try to go over and above and give you like real factual information from an immigration professional standpoint. We are regulated with the government bodies here. We've run a business for over 10 years doing that. And again, some of the trends that we see is that we like to work with people that are planning things out, that are asking these questions, and that are thinking about these issues. So if that's you, I definitely want to speak to you because hopefully you'll be my next awesome client. But feel free to reach out, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications of this video. We're going to keep pushing out the content as best as we can. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask. All right. Take care. Hope everyone's doing well. We'll talk to you soon.